WPTV.
Welcome back to the desk. The hockey crew is back to break down the latest on the ice. Now we'll start with some off-season action. Josh, your Rangers, what are their plans this off-season?
Well, let's go take a look at the Rangers season right now. Very disappointing season. I'm not too happy about it at all. But their biggest key right now for the season is the NHL draft. They have 10 picks in this upcoming draft, and 3 of those picks are in the first round. Rangers need to have a successful first round in order to have this successful rebuild. And I heard some whispers in the air that maybe Kovalchuk comes back to the USA and comes to the New York Rangers. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm excited for it. Also, following year, if the Tampa Bay Lightning win the Cup this year or next year, we get another first-round pick the following year. So I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, it would be a successful rebuild to grab another first-round pick. The Rangers really in full rebuild mode. Matt, your Islanders, what are their plans towards the offseason?
It's been the same plan since October, Chris, and that is re-sign John Tavares. Now, they haven't done that so far, and there's a lot of speculation that they might not. Now, John Tavares, he still needs a new contract, but the Islanders are supposed to be in the playoffs right now. They're supposed to be competing in postseason hockey. They're not, so it's back to the drawing board. They have the league worst defense. They have the league worst goaltending. What happened? So this team it's in complete overhaul. They're going to have over $10 million in cap. They have to go into free agency, be prepared to spend big money. I'm not saying they'll get him, but they need to go for Erik Karlsson. They need to go for these big-name free agents and big-name defenders who can help plug these holes that they have in their lineup. Yaroslav Halak, you see right here, he's not going to be back. He's going to move on in free agency. Who are they going to have in net? They have 2 kids who are coming up, one from the Swedish league, one from the Russian league. They need to figure out defense, goaltending, and then we'll see from there. And John Tavares. John Tavares is priority number 1.
Priority number one, John Tavares. Now, Jennifer, the happiest on the desk.
I'm pretty happy.
Your New Jersey Devils have clinched a wild card spot. They, unlike these two, they have a lot more games to play, hopefully even more. What do they have to do to be successful in the wild card? What is their wild card looking like?
Well, the Devils haven't been in the playoffs in 6 years, I believe, so this is like a big deal for them. And first of all, having like such a stacked team, it's so good for them. From what it looks like, they're going to be starting off with Washington, who's sitting currently number 1 with 103 points in the conference. Washington has a really, really strong offense, so that's something that they're going to have to look out for. They just have to play strong, and I think it'll be a good season for them.
Yeah, Washington does have a strong offense, but the Devils need to rely on Kincaid, who's really seemed to take Twitter by storm, has become a fan favorite to say the least. The Devils really have something special going on with. They have the fans really in Kincaid's tweets. The Ric Flair's a really big thing with the Devils. Yeah, exactly. There's a change in atmosphere for New Jersey, which speaks volumes as to why they're doing so well. As we take a look at the wild card standings, the Devils are the only ones that they have clinched. The Columbus Blue Jackets are above them. The Flyers and the Panthers unlikely to make the playoffs, but the Flyers still in contention at 96 points. The Devils obviously clinching at 97, and the Blue Jackets at 97. So with this wild card standings, Matt, is there any team that sticks out to you? Do the Devils have a real chance of being the top competitive team from the wild card?
From the wild card, yeah. The Flyers, if they win, they will leapfrog the Devils if they don't close out with their last win. So I think that the Devils should stay in the top wildcard spot. That means that they will play the lesser division winner in Washington, and I think that's the easier way to go through. Washington, we've seen in the past, they have a bad playoff history. So the Devils, all they have to do is get in their heads a little bit. They don't have expectations, so rattle their cage a little bit, and you'd be surprised at what they can do.
Yeah, Washington's one of those teams that throughout sports, every sport has one team that's incredible in the regular season. In football, you have the Chiefs. In baseball, you have the Nationals. Washington, same as the Nationals. Washington teams, for some reason, in the playoffs, just can't figure it out.
They always choke.
Yeah, Josh, do you think the Devils can beat Washington in the playoffs, or is there a different matchup that the Devils should favor?
I don't think they could beat the Washington Capitals at all, because I think the Washington are so successful in the playoffs when it comes just to the first round. When it comes to the second round, not so much. They can never make it to the Eastern Conference Final. They're always struggling. For the past so many years, they cannot make it. The last time they made it to the Eastern Conference Final was '98. They went to the Cup, got swept by Detroit. But I do think that this is the Capitals' year, that they finally break the curse and move on to the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm sorry, Jen, your Devils not making it past the first round.
Well, I beg to differ. I think the Devils, when they're pushed, they're like so thirsty this season that I think they are going to push it. They feel pressure. They know that they're not like going in overconfident, but they know when they work as a team and push themselves that they can make something great happen.
The Devils have been a surprise this year, and it's just been a complete change in scenery in New Jersey. It's just complete different vibe to the team, and really, you got to give credit to the fans bringing the positive energy that's created this great change to the organization.
I have to agree with Jen 100%. You know, I'm an Islanders fan. I'm clearly, come on. But I've been to a couple Devils games this year. The energy in there is palpable. Like the Prudential Center actually feels like one of the more intimidating arenas in the NHL. The fans are engaged. The team is thirsty to win. Like she said, it's been 6 years. So you can only imagine what local New Jerseyans are feeling, that playoff energy in there. So I'm genuinely excited for him from a hockey fan perspective. It's going to be interesting, and Taylor Hall is a man on a mission. That dude, it's a treat to watch him play. I got to just,
As Devils fans say, Hall for heart, it seems to be the biggest call.
I'd give it to him.
Jennifer, we'll start with you. 2 teams to come out of the East. Do you think the Devils can be one of those teams? Who are your 2?
I really do hope the Devils are. And like I said, when they're pushed, they make things happen. Also with the East, I have Boston. Boston always somehow finds their way in there. They play a little dirty, but what are you going to do? They are tied with Tampa Bay in first place, though. And Tampa Bay started off really strong, but they kind of slacked down, so that's why I'm going with Boston.
Matt, who do you have?
I 100% agree with Jen in the regards of Tampa and Boston. So they're both not at 110 points. The next 2 games are going to determine who the top wildcard plays. So it's either going to be Tampa or Boston. But my personal 2 picks, Boston and Pittsburgh. Now, Pittsburgh has won the last 2 cups in a row. It's hard to count them out. I want to do it. I don't like them. I want to count them out. But, Chris, compared to the last season's roster, they only got better. They have Derek Brassard on the 3rd line. Phil Kessel's playing like bottom middle 6 minutes. It's crazy. So to discount them like that, I just can't do it. I do think they will fizzle out in the Eastern Conference Final, though. Boston has too much steam heading into the playoffs.
Yep, Pittsburgh definitely looking for that 3-peat. Would be nice, something you don't see often. Josh, who do you have?
If I see Pittsburgh win another championship, I'm going to throw up. I can't see it happen. But I do think that the more hungry team, again, it's the Capitals. Ovechkin really wants it this year. And I do believe Pittsburgh will win in the first round. Ovechkin and the Capitals will beat Pittsburgh in the second round to make it to the Eastern Conference, where they will, I believe everyone else, will play Boston, but Capitals will go on to the Stanley Cup.
Some differencing in opinions. That is all the time we have in this episode of WP Sports Desk. Thank you to our analyst crew and our studio manager, Al Clarke. From Studio B in Hobart Hall, I'm Turner-Demondo. We'll see you next time.